Welcome back to the European Ultimate Indoor Club Championships hosted by the European Ultimate Federation. Here we're in quarterfinals action. We're in for a treat here with the Finnish indoor national champions Helsinki versus the Slovakian indoor national champions Outsiterz. I'm Ravi Vasudevan, joined by Hannah Pendlebury. Helsinki immediately shoots for the end zone, and Philip Molnar puts just enough pressure, and Helsinki's not able to hold on to that as Karpansalo cannot get it. Philip Molnar picks it up immediately as a foul is called. Again, I'm Ravi Vasudevan, joined by Hannah Pendlebury. In a second, we'll get her intro, but right now, Outsiterz looking for a break as pressure is mounting on both teams. Bolvansky now gets it back to Philip Molnar. There's two Molnar brothers on this team. Both play in the Netherlands as well. Going to play for Hrut later this season, right now with their home country of Slovakia. There's a call on the field. Hannah Pendlebury, how are you feeling this fine, what are we, in the morning, afternoon? I can never check the time. This afternoon, how are you feeling this fine afternoon?
Well, we are locked in a box all day and we don't see the sunlight. We're kind of like vampires, but frisbee vampires, I guess. No, very excited for this game, and this is going to be a tussle between these two very great sides. Massive pressure on Molnar on the far sideline.
Love this match between Karpansalo and Molnar. Helsinki told me Karpansalo will be one of their key players, and I know Philip Molnar is going to be one of the Outsiterz key players, so good to see them putting pressure on each other. Molnar getting the best of it so far.
But this mixed division is really wide open. There's so much talent clutching towards those top places. Of course, this is now the championship bracket just on day 2 here in this wonderful complex here in Herning. And so anything could happen, but you've got to have those stars on fire.
Philip Molnar with the dump back to Chabala. Molnar basically taking every other pass, just as I would expect. Gets it up the field to Rosina. Surveying the options are the Outsiterz D-line, trying to open this game with a break. Rosina back with the disc in her hands, looking for the end zone, doesn't like what she sees. Goes all the way back to the defending brick mark. Philip Molnar back again with it. We did hear from the Outsiterz. There's the big hammer going up for Philip Molnar. Can he keep it? No, he cannot. Just enough pressure there from Heidi Pauninen as Helsinki get the disc back. They did tell us before the game, Hannah, that they prefer to play the little small give-go. They're not the big shot indoor players. There you see the big shot not working out for them.
Yeah, and a fantastic switch off heads-up D from Pauninen, got in exactly the right space to deny Molnar the ability to use those flexi toes.
So Helsinki back with the disc again, seeing if they can clean up their offense this time. Vinqvist dumps it back, the hammer back over to Vinqvist, and he's manages to read it well. Over 2 female players, 1 on each team. Malmi dumps it back to Pauninen. Now Vinqvist with it on the side of the field, dumps it all the way back to half field. Helsinki looking for the end zone. Vinqvist is all alone, and they take advantage of that immediately as Helsinki finally gets them on the board. A little bit of a shaky point, Hannah, but Helsinki take the hold 1-0.
Yeah, what could have been a very costly drop from Saskia Karpansalo back in the very first moments of this game ends up being redeemed. That miscommunication between the defenders after the slightly risky biscuit thrown to Philip Molnar. But that is a solid start for Helsinki. As you said, Ravi, earlier, both of these are national champion sides. Outsiterz, though, perhaps a little bit less well-oiled than their opponents.
Outsiterz, I believe, winning their pool to get here, and Helsinki having to go through the crossover play. Maybe get a little bit more knowledge on how the teams got here a little bit later, but right now, Outsiterz O-line looking to mix things up here. That's Daniel Molnar, the other of the Molnar brothers, coming out there. Looks like Daniel's going to be handling the offense, Philip more on defense. At least that's how they're starting things off. Daniel Molnar trying to toe it in, but he cannot.
It's ambitious.
It's ambitious.
But we love the ambition.
Molnar looking for the play, eventually swings it around. That's Danovska with the disc. Back to Daniel Molnar. He now has it right in front of the end zone, no mark. Tries to pop it into Danovska. Are they going to call her in or call her out? It was definitely close. It's going to be called for a goal.
Yeah, sideline with the eyes there. To me, that was quite clear. And in terms of the kind of play, it's a really interesting choice there to look at the fact that Helsinki just chose to not mark the player with the disc. Big poach off from one of their female matching defenders just to kind of close the space of the end zone, which is a wise choice, but it's a bold choice, and you do have to react and change as the flow moves.
So Helsinki's O-line coming out again, seeing if they can have a bit of a cleaner hold this time. Nice inside shot there. That's Kasaksa. Puts it up over the top, and there, number 36, Heidi Pauninen, having quite a game so far there with the goal, and Helsinki go up 2-1.
Yeah, very wise on defense and makes a great line. Sort of almost running out of room, but a good possession for Helsinki and no errors on that particular offensive possession. It's no surprise, though, they did mention that they train between 1 to 3 times per week back home in Helsinki, a very, very tight-knit team, so they know each other well, whereas, already you mentioned, Ravi, 2 of the big players on Outsiterz currently been having dalliances with the Netherlands.
Yeah, both on the open roster and the EUICC coming up later this year in the outdoor venue, but right now with their Slovakian team. A brick mark is called. Swings over to Daniel Molnar. Crossover to Bukrati. That's Rosina with it, back to Bukrati. She overshoots and Helsinki get a chance for a break. Disc immediately picked up by Rekola. It's Kozlov with the nice blade over to Willems. And that's going to be a little bit underthrown. And Outsiterz try to attack immediately, and they do get the score. That's Rosina with the goal. And, sorry, that's Danovska with the goal. And Outsiterz bring it to 2-2.
Yeah, Nela Danovska there really reading the play. It's all about your counter attack when there is a turnover. It's so devastating outdoors, but indoors, times that about 50.
Team is playing really quickly between points here as they go immediately for a dagger to the end zone. Can he hold it in? He cannot. Juho Malmi a little bit overshot there, and he couldn't rail it in. So now Philip Molnar comes in on this D point. See if he can get Outsiterz to capitalize this time on this break opportunity. And again, a little bit of an overshot, just miscommunication there between the players. As you were saying, Hannah, maybe not enough practice between the two, not knowing exactly what each other want.
Yeah, too many options in the same space. 2 players with plenty of separation from their defenders, couldn't pick one.
Karpansolo gets it over to Hurme. Hurme with the blade over the top into traffic, but that's easily done by Oko Vindqvist, and Helsinki keep the holds coming, whether they're dirty or clean, no breaks yet.
Yeah, a youngster, certainly, 22 years of age is Oko Vindqvist. Says he's a big fan of big precise throws and the big overheads, ripping that one down under a lot of pressure.
One thing I love to see here, Hannah, is seeing teams from Slovakia, from Finland, and outdoors that not always going to be there. One of these teams is going to be in the semifinals, but here in indoors you see some of these teams from the Baltics, from Scandinavia, from Czechia, from Slovakia, they take indoors very seriously, and I love that EUF has now given them a venue to showcase how dominant they are.
As someone who also hails from a nation that takes indoors very seriously, but we're not as good at it, always, I also appreciate this. Because it gets cold in Northern Europe.
Outsiterz moving quickly through the fields. Is dinking and diving as Danovska doing a lot of the heavy lifting here for this Outsiterz sign. As we see, for the first time, neither Molnar brother taking the field. That's Rosina. Gets it up to Bukrati. Bukrati and Rosina playing a little bit of a give and go with each other. And there's again Nela Danovska. Janovska, really, really strong player for this Outsiterz offensive line, really making her presence known. Another goal for her.
Yeah, in terms of the stats leaders for Outsiterz in the earlier stages of this tournament, Bukrati really is leading the charge, 21 in total, 15 of course those are assists. But yeah, Janovska has been quiet up until this point, but she's been building her presence, her teammates told us.
Helsinki now backed into their defending end zone with a little bit of a speculative blade up.
I think there was a hand on that bobbled.
Pauninen with another blade over to Saksa. Saksa back to Poundinen. Really deadly player is Poundinen so far. Malmi back to Vinqvist. Saksa now gets it back to Hurme. Saksa surveying the field, doesn't find any options, eventually has to dump it back to Vinqvist. Outsiterz doing a great job of preventing any attacking options into the end zone from this Finnish team. Just moving around the field. Outsiterz preventing anything going into the end zone. That's continuing. Saksa eventually goes for goal, and Vinqvist with another score.
So I want to pay Helsinki a bit of a compliment here. That did get a little bit dull because it just looked like they were running a drill at practice. You know, it was that kind of no one really being crazy dynamic, but waiting their turn, having the discipline, standing in the stack. It doesn't excite you to play that sort of offense always, but it paid off beautifully. And I have to compliment them most highly on the fact that some of these blades are coming down with pace to earth, and they're just going up so confidently, like they've been doing it since they were born.
So Bukrati and Molnar starting things off here for Outsiterz. Bukrati again getting open, the stats leader for this team. Puts it into end zone, and again it's Nela Janovska. Helsinki really not finding any answers for Nela so far this game.
Well, also the creativity as well, the sort of dad backhand with a lot of touch, sort of hovering like a UFO in the far corner of the end zone. Really just lovely play. A little bit more flustered at times are Outsiterz. They tend to all move at once, which requires a bit more communication, but currently there's not an inch in it.
So far all holds, neither team drawing blood yet. Blade for the end zone, and it's too far. Malmi not able to reel that one in as Sasa Karptansalo overshoots it a little bit. So Outsiterz with another opportunity. They've had a few so far, have not managed to capitalize yet. But we'll see if Filip Molnar can lead the charge here for the Slovakian outfit. Nice break up the line to Chabala. Swings around. Nice pass there, can he reel it in? Yes, Filip Molnar now with it. Attacking, looking for that elusive break, puts the hammer up, and there's the score into Martin Bolvanski, and that's the first break of the game, Hannah.
Well, it was going to come at some point, and what a way to do it. The recovery, the low pickup grab from Filip Molnar on this very replay pass, catches it at about ankle height. But he is a very flexible human being, and one of ulti.TV's own, along with Lucia Pekarova, both working our cameras occasionally when they're not dazzling us down on the pitch.
So can Helsinki respond to getting broken? It's often difficult for your O-line to go back out there. Most of the players still the same though. Alamikula now gets it back to Karpansalo. Vinqvist. Saksa. Hurme and Saksa get it back in their defending brickmark area. A little bit of pressure there, but Helsinki able to hold on. Heidi Paunanen looking for the blade to the end zone, and she's got it. That's Ani Alamikula with the score. Great connection there from the female players of Helsinki to get that hold. We're back to 5-5.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm fast becoming a big fan of Heidi Paunanen. That throw was absolutely bodacious. Just really casually turned around the mark, and the spin that she generated on it with such quick execution, it's very impressive.
So Outsiterz coming back out on offense here in this quarterfinal matchup. Just to let everybody know, the game is to 17. Half will be at 9, so don't be surprised if we don't take a pause at 7. 5-5 now. Outsiterz up one break as they're giving and going, playing against this poachy defensive set that Helsinki is putting out here. Janovska with the disc. Up to Molnar. Daniel Molnar with the blade over to Bukrati. Bukrati and Molnar playing with each other. It's just a three-person game here with Molnar, Bukrati, and Janovska. In fact, just a two-person game for the last few passes as Janovska's just staying out of the way. Nice little soft blade into the end zone as Bukrati takes it down. 6-5 for the Slovaks.
I mean, to be honest, sometimes we can be critical of players when they just want to throw to each other. But realistically, when you're playing against a zone, there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. I actually like not taking that big adventurous cross-pitch pass and going to hit that third swing, because that's a tempting option for a run through D elsewhere.
Oko Vinquist gets the disc up to Malmi. Malmi back to Karpansalo. Nice disc up to Hurma, who's able to hold on to it. Vinquist again looking for the end zone, doesn't like the shot as sees the poach coming off. Swings it over to Karpansalo again. Karpansalo with a scuba into the end zone, and that's Oko Vinquist with another goal for the young Finn.
Again, the execution of these overhead throws for a lot of these Finnish players, you can really see this is the surface they play on the most. And I'm just looking forward to when the Finnish ultimate scene gets even bigger outdoors and they're able to be even more flush teams, because obviously we love seeing them indoors, but they do really represent themselves well also on grass. Often very challenging for them. It's actually expensive to fly out of Finland, so they have a lot of good players, but often can't get the commitment to pay the expensive flights to come and play the rest of Europe. Here, Daniel Molnar just moving with Janowska, giving and going and taking every under, and just leaps into the end zone. Finnish players in the way, but it doesn't matter. A little bit of a shaking of hands to make sure everyone's okay, but it's going to be a goal for Outsiterz. Oh, a little bit of conversation between the two. I think Kozlov might be saying that was bordering on a dangerous play. You can sort of see, though, he does move himself into that space. He can certainly be aware of the fact that Molnar is not looking around him. He's focusing on catching that disc. So actually, he's probably the person that needs to be aware. So Helsinki coming back on offense, and there's a little bit of a zone play coming out, a little bit of poachy play at least from the Outsiterz here on the handlers. And a wayward pass gives Outsiterz a chance for another break here. Philip Molnar only has half the field to work with, guarded by Oko Vinquist. Doesn't like the shot into the end zone. Looks for another option. Eventually swings it around to Petrashkova. Nice little swing around there to Blavansky. Blavansky and Philip Molnar playing together. Nice inside shot, and that's another break for Outsiterz as they make the score 8-6. Yeah, Kaltner coming in there on a slightly racy inside shot, but beautiful execution. Just pops up. I'm really enjoying the female matching defense, though, from Helsinki. Really trying to capitalize on the spaces that are dangerous on the pitch. There was a little bit of a poach off there from the defender marking Perakova, but not able to quite get that and stop the score. So we have a timeout here, I believe probably called by Helsinki. We'll take a quick break ourselves. We'll be back to finish up this first half, after this.
Have you seen our VO streams? Do you know that VO cameras are built for more tactical team sport analysis? The inbuilt tracking technology allows you to see the game in finer detail. That's why teams are already using it, and ulti.TV and EUF are teaming up to help you join VO. Contact EUF administration to get more details.
Nice word from our sponsor there, VEO. Couple of VEO streams here that you can also watch in addition to this nice showcase one we have on ulti.TV. Lots of coverage brought to you by the European Ultimate Federation. Helsinki now coming out on offense, trying to get a couple more points in before Outsiterz take half. Now Vinquist dumps it back to Pauninen. Pauninen with those deadly throws. Outsiterz gonna have to respect him. Nice around blade, it's gonna work out. No, Philip Molnar sneaks in there with just pure athleticism and pure grit to get that D. He throws the big shot, expansive in the end zone. Is it gonna work out? No, Oko Vinquist has other words to say about that, Hannah. Oh, hopefully that'll be okay though. You saw a little bit of collision. Shalabala there. Just having a little bit of an ankle clatter on the bottom of the concrete there. He wasn't able to grab hold of these nets that are designed to stop you. Do like those nets though, protecting our players from diving in. Rather get them tangled up in the nets than into those concrete bleachers. Pauninen with the blade to the end zone, and she's got Hurma for the score.
Well, you mentioned her throws and how dangerous they've been so far in this game. A real shooter. Been playing since way back in the day. She's nearly Masters eligible, but she's had a career spanning since the under-17s division back in 2006, so you can do the math. So the sporting hero is Mikko Pansalo, her first coach.
Hannah, how did Helsinki get to this point? I think Outsiterz went undefeated in their pool. Tell me about Helsinki's road to this quarterfinal.
Well, they've had a grind through. They took a loss to Ultimate Saku, which of course was what ended up seeing them not rise and automatically qualify here. But they had a real grind day against Mighty Hucks. They lost that one in sudden death, but then rose over Jyväskylä Sleepwalkers.
All right, so now they're here in quarterfinals. They told us they really loved that Mighty Hucks game, but here, seeing if they can put something against these Slovaks who are right now in the lead. Janovska with the disc. Just over half field, gets it back to Daniel Molnar. Molnar with the break around the Janovska. Pressure coming from Helsinki, but Janovska holds on to it. Molnar in the end zone and a nice easy pop. Outsiterz take half, 9-7.
Well, you have to say, Vilma Heinonen put every single part of her body on the line there. Hitting the turf, well, not the turf, sorry, hitting this lovely blue handball playing surface, but just the connections between now the Outsiterz have really started to develop over the course of the game. At the beginning, they were all sort of running around. It was very, tight match defense was preventing a lot of the options, but now they've found their flow and they're starting to crack this wide open. All
right, we'll take a quick break here. Halftime now, 9-7. Outsiterz from Slovakia over Helsinki from Finland. Don't go anywhere.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it!
Welcome back to quarterfinal action here at the European Ultimate Indoor Club Championships. Hannah, we got Helsinki from Finland versus Outsiterz from Slovakia. What are your thoughts here on the first half?
Well, I think it's both teams' desire is really what's pushing this game forward. Helsinki look cooler and calmer, but in control, in the hot seat, it's Outsiterz.
So Outsiterz taking offense here. They get the chance. They went up a couple breaks early in the first half. They get that advantage coming into the second. Can they capitalize on it and keep it going? Janovska, who's been so key for them in the handler space, playing really well with Bukrati. It's Bukrati, Molnar, and Janovska that are really driving this offense from the throwing position. Nice inside pass here. Back to Molnar. Doesn't like the hammer, just swings it up to Janovska. Molnar with the disc again. Now the other Slovaks getting involved, and there's the score. Daniel Molnar with it, getting the assist from Jan Rosina, and they extend their lead to 10-7.
I'm slightly confused as to exactly what occurred there. I'm not sure if maybe the force was not quite set up in the right direction. Oh no, there we go, sorry, it's that break. That break before puts the defenders on the wrong side, same side as each other, and it all went a little bit wrong, but that was good hold from before, and there's plenty of support here live from the Finns in the stands.
Yeah, lots of Finnish teams here. Oh, nice layup bid from Molnar, but Karpansalo gets it. I love this match between Molnar and Karpansalo. It's been a great one so far this game. Nice layout grab from Paunanen. What can this woman not do?
She pounds the dish, she pounds the floor.
Nice swingy pass to Carpansalo. Fakes the Scuba. Gets it over to Saksa. Saksa and Carpansalo playing together. Nice blady pass. Carpansalo's all alone, but there's a wayward defender from the Slovakian team, and the Outsiterz will get the disc back. Filip Molnar to pick up, see if they can extend their lead even further.
Yeah, solid heads up there. Gabriela Koltner coming in and just denying that space.
Filip Molnar, nice inside pass. Ooh, bobbled, but still collected. Oh, what is going on? All out of sorts here are the Slovak D-line offense. They give the disc back to Helsinki, who have about half a field to work with, try and get this score. Isolating 2 players in the end zone. Don't like the first look, don't like the second. Gonna dump it back to Hurma. Hurma back to Saksa. Saksa back to Carpansalo. Matchups have changed a little bit. Now we've got Filip Molnar on Saksa. Sorry, on Saksa. Oh, and the little defense there from Alex Chabala on the dump pass. And now Outsiterz have a golden opportunity just to pop this one in the end zone. Let's see if Helsinki can make a stop. Everybody in the end zone from Helsinki, but Outsiterz find a little pocket as Alex Chabala get the bookends for the break, and that's 11-7.
That has to be a little bit demoralizing there from Laurie Saksa. He got a touch on that disc, but not quite enough to prevent it from just bobbling its way through to Chabala. But it was just a little bit too casual. There were too many reset passes. You could understand why Helsinki are trying to treasure the disc and not throw something that might be staffled up by a run-through block upfield. But I think they do need to just back themselves that little bit more, put more confidence in the tank, but see if they can put it together here.
Rekola comes out as we see Helsinki change up their O-line a little bit. Their classic O-line getting broken too much. So we see some new players coming out here. This is Ilya Winqvist. Hammer over the top to Kozlov. Kozlov goes to the end zone, a layout grab, but cannot hold on to it. Great valiant effort there from Ilya Winqvist, but can't hold on to it in the end zone. And Outsiterz, look at that. He had it, but the ground contact just took it away.
Can the medics please go assess that young gentleman for a concussion? Because that was the full cap flying off.
And Phil Molnar again for the Slovakian D-line offensive side. Molnar. There's Pekarova. Fighting Bobanski. Phil Molnar again for the end zone, finds Pekarova for the score, and Outsiterz extend their lead. It's now 12-7. The Slovaks are in control, Hannah.
Pekarova there in football. It was nearly friendly fire between Filip and Molnar and Lucia Petakova. But then she goes, okay, well, actually, no, you have the frisbee, and I'm going to go get the goal.
Finally figuring out their matchup as we see the Finnish sidelines getting pumped up, trying to give some life back to this Helsinki side. We see the classic O-line coming back out on the field.
Well, I have to say, though, Outsiterz, maybe, those who sit outside, but they're seeing themselves within reaching distance of being well inside the championship bracket.
Yeah, I've seen Outsiterz sometimes outdoors, not usually one of the top teams out there, but indoors they're really impressing me.
Well, it is much easier indoors, a smaller roster, smaller space, stars really can shine.
Oko Winqvist with the disc, gets it to Pauninen. There's her dangerous blade, this time just an easy swing, but still effective. Pauninen in the end zone, gives the 1-2. There with Saksa. Blades in the end zone, and Oko Winqvist just takes his eyes off it for a moment.
What a change. Middle of the first half, Ravi. These overheads were looking like they were just magnetized to the palms of Helsinki. But as the doubt creeps in, those drops start to come.
Yeah, that was really just the drop. The throw looked great. Nice expansive shot, and that's going to be eaten up by Saksa. There, an easy option. Anna Mikula dumps it back to Winqvist. Pauninen and Winqvist, now they've gone back to the halfway point. They were on the end zone line. Now they're back to the defending brick mark. Alamikula with the disc. Back to Saksa. Saksa looking for a scuba, eventually finds the blade. Pannonen with it, looking for an option to throw to, but no one cutting for her. I mean, this downfield movement is really stagnant in Helsinki.
This is what we had before when I said it looked like they were just running a drill at practice. The kind of, I like the discipline of the two people in the end zone, but it does make your life much more difficult, especially when you advance halfway up the pitch.
So now we're back defending again. Ala-Mikula with it, only attacking from the handler space. And there Saksa tries to toe it in, but I think he's not in the end zone quite yet. Looking for an option, doesn't find anything he likes, and just goes all the way back to Ala-Mikula. Vinkvist. Vinkvist and Saksa playing 1-2, but Outsiterz doing a good job of having that little roll switch, stop the give-go option. I like this Outsiterz defense. They're not working that hard, but they're very smart at knowing when to take away the right options. Pannonen and Vinkvist working together. Vinkvist looking for something in the end zone, doesn't find anything except for Ala-Mikula laterally. Vinkvist working with Saksa. Quite a long point going on here. Lots and lots of passes. Not really anything contested, but also nothing attacking as well.
Yeah,
if I'm Outsiterz, I'm happy just to run the clock down like this. They have the lead.
Well, yeah, you've got a 5-point margin. You can play this sort of softer, saggier defense.
I mean, the cap only goes a +1 if it's within 3 points, and if they can keep this 5-point margin, I'd be happy to just let Helsinki swing all day. But eventually they attack into the end zone, find themselves a score, and put themselves on the board. It's 12-8. Outsiterz still in a commanding lead.
Helsinki clearly prefer to throw these big targets when they've got someone running in stride. That one sort of, thrown to a little bit of a pack. I mean, I think there's plenty of respect given to the fact that the positioning of Juha Malmi was just, very, very solid. But yeah, it's not quite as slick as it started off for Helsinki. They were looking very fine indeed, but those couple of missed overhead shots that you think that would really have built momentum for them. They'd be pushing through, probably much, much closer to Outsiterz at this point, but they just need to be a little bit more active. I'd like to see a bit more intensity from them.
Outsiterz here taking a very wily, crafty timeout, I would say. Run the clock down. They have the lead. Like I said, if they can finish the clock out, which only has about 9 minutes left on it with this buffer, they will take the win. So timeout's now over. Go ahead, Hannah.
It's a solid use of the clock, but also, to be fair, I think the way they've been playing very, very intense match defense up until that last point, they are probably starting to feel a little bit of tiredness in their legs with just under 10 minutes to go.
And there we see the indoor roof coming into play here as the pole hits a little display in the middle of the pitch here.
It's normally the basketball hoops that get stowed away that cause issues for the overhead throws, isn't it?
Yeah, but here it's just a little nice display. We are in a great venue here in Herning, Denmark.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I think that the Outsiterz are opting to take the brick. I'm not sure where it touched the roof, but it's always easier to take it at the X. Janovska now with the disc. Vikrati and Janovska just playing off of each other. Josina. Vikrati and Josina now on that side of the end zone. Helsinki playing one of their many zones. They did tell us they like to do it. But so far, Outsiterz just happy to blade it across to each other, just along the handlers, and they've moved it all the way to their attacking brick mark. Dump back to Janovska. Finds Vikrati, who looks for some option in the end zone. Nobody attacking that back corner, everybody outside of the end zone. Janovska not finding a swing. And there's the expansive option. Nice little push pass, but it's out of the hands of Vikrati as he focused on the next pass. Gives to Helsinki, and now Helsinki have the first chance for a break in a long time. Hammer over the top there to Heinonen. Heinonen blades it over. Now we got an Ilya Vinkvist. Tati. There we have Willems, the import, I believe from Belgium.
Well, the live chat was asking for them to be to see him come on the field more.
Tati now with the disc as Helsinki look to get in that break, which I believe would be their first of the game, Hannah.
It certainly would, Ravi.
Vinkvist with the disc on the sideline. looking for something downfield, sees nothing, decides to dump it back to Heinen. Rekola. Again, Helsinki's downfield movement, just very stagnant. They're getting a little hammer over the top. Rekola now finally finding a cutter in play in Willems. Rekola looks for Willems, doesn't like that hammer instead. Fakes over to the side, finds Ilya Winkvist on the sideline, and Helsinki get a break. They're still alive here, Hannah.
Well, there's just probably just enough time to really claw this one back and get it to the extra +1 cap that you talked about, Ravi. I would love to see Helsinki not change the structure really completely, but do a recycle through. At the moment, they're players that are standing static towards the end zone, the downfield players. They're doing this little jinking back and forth thing, and the defenders are wise to it. They're not committing their hips. They're staying agile on their toes. If you have those people then cycle out, be okay, someone else come and have a go at this. I think that might be a big change.
We'll see if Outsiterz, after their first time getting broken, are rattled by it or can come back to the solid play we've seen them for the rest of this game. A little bit more pressure from Helsinki here. Bukrati back on the fields. He's got the disc as we see some of the stars from Helsinki's O-line come out here to try and really get another break and keep the train going. Ooh, Bukrati there just about gets the disc. Fakes the scuba. Not many options downfield. Eventually finds Kutna. Kutna throws it across into Rosina. A lot of pressure here from Helsinki, but Outsiterz holding on to the disc. Bukrati, the star player with a little backhand blade over the top, finds Rosina for the goal and put themselves up 13-9.
There was a great recovery from Willems there, who he tried to go for a bid, really used a lot of energy in the tank, and I think he probably had an opportunity to make a play on that cross-pitch throw that ended up being the scoring pass. But I think the amount of energy he had to expend making the catch-up, he didn't quite have the focus and the legs for it. But that will be enough to keep the 4-point margin. Helsinki really need a break in the next 5 minutes, but first, can they put their O in?
Oh, what a grab there by Ala Mikula. She's not able to hold on to it, though, and Outsiterz have a chance to extend their lead again. There we have Kubisova. Back over to Pekarova. That's Bolanovsky. Looking for something in the end zone. There's an option. He finds the blade and finds the break. And that's Gabriela Kutna with the score. 14-9.
Yeah, Kutna really doing well there to take her attacking position and hold it. Really not allowing anything for the defender to come in. She was miles open. You can see the attempted recovery from Ala Mikula there, who was unlucky not to make that big layout grab. Also, I only noticed during the previous point, it's actually there's a bandage on that hand of that number 67. I think the non-dominant hand, but she's got some taped together fingers, so hopefully she's okay, not in too much pain. Oh,
not as much pain after reeling in that break for Outsiterz as they're getting closer and closer to a semi-final spot.
Yeah, on the in club.
Top four would be a great result for this Slovakian outfit. There's the big blade, and that's an easy score for Helsinki. They're going to need to get more of those if they want to stay in this game. But they bring the score to 14-10, but D-line has a lot of work to do, Hannah.
Absolutely. We've seen stranger things, though, and bigger comebacks in the past. They do need to get that break, and we've got just under 4 minutes, so 3 and change left to do it. So this point is really the moment for Helsinki to ascend.
Looks like the winner of this game will probably face Tartu Turbulence. They're up 14-9 against the Hucks right now. Similar score margin here.
Oh, it's tough at the top, Ravi. It's hot.
A lot of great teams coming out here to the European Ultimate Indoor Club Championships. What more would you expect at a European event? There a lot of pressure from the Finns, and they force another turnover. This is the momentum they need as the disc is kind of kicked around a little bit. You see Heinen saying, no, I get it there. Maybe not really happy with that kick as she swings it around to Winkvist.
Well, it's not football, is it?
Here's the other Winkvist with the disc. Hammer across the field to Heinen. Inquis is there, but the hammer is to the other side, and there's a huge D from Daniel Molnar. There's a discussion, though.
Fair consideration.
Here we see the replay. There's a little bit of contact there.
They asked the opinion of the person sat in the bleachers right next to them, and he agreed. It did look like there was too much contact.
But not just a strip foul. It looks like there must have been a catch if they're going to call it a goal. So let's take a look at this replay again. Slow it down. I don't see any way he had control of that discount. That's my view.
Well, it's the decision that gets made on the field. It's how it feels, not how it looks to us up here in the booth. And yeah, the discussion is there, and so the game can continue potentially, unless of course Outsiterz managed to pop this one in.
14-11 the score. Janowska getting the disc. That was a break for Helsinki, and they're coming out firing. Pauninen now, usually playing defense, coming out, trying to make something happen. There's a little bit of a wayward pass, a little bit of a poach, and Helsinki with a chance to get another break. The sidelines are electric. You can see the Helsinki coach trying to calm everybody down, saying, we got to punch this in. Don't get too overworked with his energy.
Purely from an excitement perspective, I don't mind about that call whatsoever.
Pauninen now with the disc, and they have her on the field here on this D-line opportunity. Heinonen with the disc as well. So Karpansalo there, Pauninen there. This could be a golden opportunity to get a break for Helsinki. A lot of O-line players in here, including Saksa.
Well, for Helsinki, this could possibly be the most important, apart from the winning goal, important point of the game.
Saksa and Karpansalo just playing conservative, just saying, hey, if they're going to keep poaching off of us, we'll just keep dumping it back and forth, wait for the option. Now we have that three-point margin figured out, so we don't have to rush as much. Now let's get those points in.
The other thing I think is very interesting, Ravi, is the next 2 points are both female matching majority points, which I feel plays into the strengths more of Helsinki.
Interesting. We'll see how that plays out. That is the buzzer, so after this point we'll add 1. And as we said, Helsinki has gotten themselves into that three-point margin, so the game can continue. Karpansalo now gets the disc over to Vili. Vili and Karpansalo, Helsinki very patient, but not attacking downfield at all. Really only attacking in the handler space. You see Karpansalo with that give-go. Now looking at the end zone, and Pauninen tries to get there, but a great defensive effort by the Slovaks.
Also, I have to recant, it's 1 female matching player point after this, sorry. I miscounted, but what a fantastic, just the fingertips defense to bobble that one away like a piece of toast in the morning.
It's Kuchatikova. I haven't said her name much, but making a key play maybe at the end of this game. If Slovakia, the Outsiterz, can push this in, we'll have the 15-11 win. That's more than 3 points gap. That'll be the game. So it's essentially a game to 15, Hannah, no matter what happens at this point. Janowska with the disc. Can Outsiterz punch their way into the semifinals? Nice inside pass. Dinking and diving. Now Rossini with the disc. Rossini to Bukaris, and there it is! The catch from Kubasova, and Outsiterz are going to the semifinals.
Yeah, that little bit of poaching off, that little bit of sagging, really not the name of the game. When you know that the game's on the line, you have to be in the pocket of your matchup every single millisecond. That's not what happened. Helsinki tried to play it, more safe, tried to overload the end zone, didn't make it back up to their original matchups, but massive credit to Outsiterz. That was a fantastic performance for them. They really took control. And towards the end of the game, a little bit of daylight coming through for Helsinki, but I think this game could have been very different only if Helsinki had brought in more of those overheads, Ravi.
So Outsiterz make their way to the semifinal, likely against Tartu Turbulence, but don't go anywhere. Got more next in the open division at 2 p.m. European Central Time. We've got KFUM Örebro, the Swedish powerhouse, against XVI, the Irish surprise to a lot of people. We'll see that one at 2 o'clock with Hannah and Steph. Right now for Ravi Vasudevan and ulti.TV, we'll close it out here. We'll be back soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ulti.TV.